Gamma linoleic acid, GLA. We spent a significant portion of this book warning you about the dangers of consuming too much omega 6, which comes mostly in the form of industrial seed oils used in processed foods and cooking oils. But we also mentioned that linoleic acid, the parent omega 6, in fact, an essential fatty acid, you do need some. More importantly, you need the conversion processes that turn linoleic acid into its downstream products to be functioning optimally. Your body doesn't waste precious energy doing things for no reason. If it's going to the effort of converting linoleic acid into other things, then you definitely need those other things. 2. Even the pro-inflammatory molecules that come from the omega-6 pathway are necessary. They're a problem only when you consume excess quantities. One of the compounds produced in the omega-6 conversion pathway is gamma-linoleic acid, GLA. GLA is itself converted into another kind of fat called DGLA, dihomogammalinic acid. Both GLA and DGLA are mainly found in your cell membranes rather than being freely available in your body. Remember what we said about those cell membranes. If they don't work right, you don't work right. In supplement form, GLA is found in borage oil, 20 to 27% GLA. Black currant seed oil, 15 to 20% GLA. Evening primrose oil, 7 to 14% GLA. Or hemp seed oil, 1.7% GLA. If delta 6 desaturase D6D, the first enzyme in the conversion pathway, is not working properly, you might need to get GLA directly from one of these supplements because your body won't produce much of it. What interferes with D6D, the top culprits include advanced age, alcohol abuse, smoking, insulin resistance, consumption of trans fats and partially hydrogenated oils, or insufficient zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, E, B6, or B3. As we've discussed, omega-3 fats are usually building blocks for anti-inflammatory compounds, and omega-6 fats are usually building blocks for compounds that are pro-inflammatory. But that's not always the case. Some omega-6 fats can result in beneficial anti-inflammatory signals, and DGLA is one of them. DGLA is believed to help facilitate blood vessel dilation and protect against dangerous blood clotting, just like you would expect from an omega-3. Further evidence of GLA as an anti-inflammatory omega-6 fat comes from studies in patients with rheumatoid arthritis, RA. One study showed that supplementing with GLA from borage oil, 1.4 grams daily for 6 months, significantly improved joint tenderness, swelling, and pain. While cottonseed oil, a high omega-6 oil, used as a placebo, showed no benefit. Similar benefits were found in another study in RA patients given 2.8 grams of GLA a day for 12 months, with 16 of 21 patients showing meaningful improvement. And compared to soybean oil, 6 months of supplementing daily with 2 grams of GLA from black currant seed oil improved joint tenderness in 34 patients with RA. GLA may be especially good for skin health, which is why some cosmetic products, especially ones claiming to restore radiance and glow to your skin, contain borage, evening primrose, or black currant seed oils. Patients with atopic dermatitis have been noted to have a reduced conversion of linoleic acid to GLA, and evening primrose oil has been shown to benefit patients with atopic dermatitis or eczema. Infants, particularly ones who are not breastfed, may benefit from GLA or DGLA supplementation. Breast milk contains these special fats, but commercial formulas don't, and D6D activity is thought to be insufficient during this early stage of life, which would deprive formerly fed infants of these fats. Symptoms of GLA-DGLA deficiency include dry, thick skin, skin eruptions resembling eczema, and growth failure. The anti-inflammatory effects of GLA have been observed in other health conditions. Supplementing with GLA plus EPA was shown to benefit patients with mild to moderate asthma, decreasing reliance on rescue medications and improving subjective quality of life. Women with premenstrual syndrome, PMS, have been noted to have an impaired conversion of linoleic acid to GLA, and evening primrose oil may help women with PMS. Evening primrose oil was also shown to benefit ADHD patients with low zinc levels. Low zinc status impairs the conversion of linoleic acid to GLA. Researchers speculated that the supplemental GLA may have compensated for the low zinc. Disease states that may benefit from GLA supplementation with or without EPA DHA. Atopic dermatitis, eczema, premenstrual syndrome, PMS, autoimmune disease, especially rheumatoid arthritis, ADHD, osteoporosis, dry eye syndrome. Argan oil. Argan oil is almost exclusively produced in southwestern Morocco, where the argan tree grows. It has been used in Morocco for centuries as an edible and topical oil. The Amazigh, who are natives of the argan forests, traditionally extracted edible argan oil from the kernels of the argan fruit stones, and this oil is a staple in the Amazigh diet. Argan oil has been noted for improving many skin ailments such as acne, psoriasis, eczema, dry skin, and wrinkles, and it may even help to prevent hair loss and improve dry hair. For these reasons, like GLA-rich borage, evening primrose, and black currant seed oils, you'll see argan oil listed among the ingredients on cosmetics for skin and hair care. Today, edible virgin argan oil is typically extracted from slightly roasted kernels, which may denature the oil. The fruit kernel of the argan tree provides the oil, which is copper in color and has a flavor similar to hazelnuts. Virgin argan oil used in beauty products comes from unroasted kernels, and it's golden in color and virtually tasteless. However, it is less stable than edible virgin argan oil. Argan oil is rich in tocopherols, which are compounds with vitamin E, activity, and antioxidant properties. The tocopherol content is thought to contribute to some of argan oil's health benefits. There are a few different forms of tocopherol. Many vitamin E supplements contain only alpha tocopherol, but it's gamma tocopherol that's believed to be one of the best free radical scavengers, and this potent antioxidant makes up 69% of the total tocopherols in argan oil. Olive oil contains some tocopherols as well. Women have used olive oil typically for their skin and hair for centuries, but argan oil contains nearly twice the tocopherol concentration of olive oil. The argan oil used in cosmetic products is thought to have moisturizing and wound healing properties, as well as anti-aging, anti-acne, and anti-sebum oil effects. One study found that 4 weeks of twice daily application of a cream containing argan oil plus extracts from sesame and saw palmetto reduced greasiness and improved the appearance of oily facial skin. This study was small, only 20 subjects, but it included men and women, and almost all of them reported a noticeable improvement in facial skin oiliness. So this isn't exclusive. The purview of women looking to boost their beauty routine. It probably sounds strange to apply oil or a product containing oil to your face if it's already oily, but there's a method behind the madness. It may not be simply that your skin is producing too much oil. It may be that too much is being secreted because of an imbalance in the fats in your skin. Correct the balance, correct the problem. Argan oil contains less than 0.5% omega-3, yet it imparts some of the cardiovascular benefits typically observed with omega-3 supplementation. In rats, argan oil has been shown to reduce total cholesterol, triglycerides, and LDL. Although it's up for debate whether that last one matters much for heart health, in humans, argan oil was shown to lower triglycerides and raise HDL. In this ratio, lower triglycerides and higher HDL is a strong indicator of cardiometabolic health. Other protective compounds in argan oil to help protect LDL particles against oxidation, and as noted earlier, LDL particles per se aren't heart health enemy number one, but oxidized LDL can cause trouble. Other studies corroborate a beneficial effect for argan oil on cardiovascular status. In type 2 diabetics with abnormal blood lipids, taking 25 milliliters of argan oil daily, a little more than 1.5 tablespoons for just 3 weeks, reduced triglycerides, total cholesterol, LDL, and oxidation of LDL while increasing HDL. A control group consuming butter experienced none of these changes. When it comes to markers for cardiovascular health, little known argan oil seems to be a jack of all trades, to the point where researchers went so far as to say that argan oil can be recommended in the nutritional management of type 2 diabetes. Considering that cardiovascular problems are the number one killer of people with type 2 diabetes, this is no small feat. In people with unhealthy cholesterol levels, taking 25 milliliters per day of edible virgin argan oil at breakfast for 3 weeks reduced platelet aggregation and increased HDL by an impressive 26%. Similar to the study mentioned above, these benefits were not found with butter. In both animal and human studies, argan oil has been found to inhibit platelet aggregation and reduce oxidative stress. Studies in rats show that argan oil has the potential to improve blood pressure, blood glucose levels, and insulin resistance, and also improve blood vessel function, blood pressure, and blood glucose levels in hypertensive or diabetic rats. Here again, we see argan oil mimicking the effects of omega-3s. Even though argan oil is actually high in omega-6, you can see now that we're so infuriated by alarmist headlines about fats and oils. Things are rarely as simple as they made out to be in the news. The proposed therapeutic dosage of argan oil to help with cardiometabolic disease is 1 to 2 tablespoons or 15 to 30 milliliters of edible uncooked virgin argan oil per day, with a dose more suited for maintenance of good health as just half to 1 tablespoon per day, or 3 to 6 milliliters. Argan oil can be used on salads and may be used for cooking, but owing to the high omega-6 content, we caution against cooking at high temperatures. Healthy oil supplement recommendations. Fish or algal oil, 3 to 4 grams per day, combined EPA and DHA for maintenance of good health. More may be warranted for those with inflammatory or cardiometabolic disease. Krill oil, 500 milligrams daily as a maintenance dose, 1 to 3 grams daily for those dealing with a condition that may respond to increased omega-3s. Alpha-linoleic acid, 2.5 to 5 grams per day to maintain good health. 5 to 10 grams daily from flaxseed or ALA-enriched foods in order to reduce inflammation. GLA, 400 to 3,000 milligrams daily for conditions that may respond to extra GLA, especially skin issues and PMS. Supplementation is not necessary for everyday health maintenance. Argan oil, half to 1 tablespoon, 3 to 6 milliliters daily for maintenance of good health. 1 to 2 tablespoons or 15 to 30 milliliters of uncooked virgin argan oil daily for those with cardiometabolic disease. Summary: there's more to all of this than omega-3s are good and omega-6s are bad. Both linoleic acid, La, and alpha-linoleic acid, ALA, convert into highly valuable inflammation-reducing fats. Medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, such as coconut oil, are saturated fats that are 6 to 12 carbons in length. They are particularly good for burning fat. While we recommend eating whole foods as often as possible, sometimes it is necessary to supplement. Fish oil. Make sure your fish oil is not overly processed and that it contains high levels of DHA as well as EPA. Krill oil is like fish oil, only better. It is less likely to contain mercury or other contaminants, and it provides you with your long-chain omega-3s in a form that is easily absorbed and used by the body. GLA, a downstream benefit of LA, can reduce inflammation and has been shown to help with rheumatoid arthritis, PMS, ADHD, and other conditions. It could be found in borage oil, evening primrose oil, and blackcurrant seed oil, and these are fine to take in supplement form. Argan oil is particularly good for the skin and for cardiovascular health, and it can be used topically or as a supplement. It should not be used for cooking. Chapter 9. What to eat. The right foods for the right fats. Targeted supplementation with the fats and oils that are appropriate for you can help you restore and maintain a healthy balance of fats in your body, priming your cells and your mitochondria for optimal health. But supplements are just that, supplemental to a nutritious diet based on whole, unprocessed foods. In this chapter, we'll walk you through which foods to eat and which foods to avoid to help you reach a healthy balance of fats. As you remember from early in the book, we, along with the U.S. National Institute of Health, NIH, recommend 650 milligrams of EPA and DHA, 2.22 grams of ALA, and 4.44 grams of LA for adults daily. This equates to an omega-6 to 3 ratio of about 2 to 1. Aquatic sources of dietary fat. In tables 9.1 and 9.2, we present the omega-3 content of select seafood items you're likely to find at your local supermarket, as well as their omega-3 to 6 ratios. If you live in an area with a good fishmonger or someone in your life enjoys fishing, you may have access to a wider variety of fish and shellfish. Table 9.1, Dietary Sources of Marine Omega-3s. Dietary source: salmon, roe. EPA DHA omega-3s, grams per 3-ounce serving, 2.70. Dietary source: halibut. EPA DHA omega-3s, 2.21. Dietary source: herring. EPA DHA omega-3s, 1.7 to 1.8. Salmon, wild. EPA DHA omega-3s, 1.0 to 3.0. Sardines, EPA DHA omega-3s, 1.0 to 1.74. Trout, EPA DHA omega-3s, 1.0. Oysters, EPA DHA omega-3s, 0.45 to 1.15. Mackerel, EPA DHA omega-3s, 0.35 to 1.80. Tuna, fresh, EPA DHA omega-3s, 0.25 to 1.30. Table 9.2, long-chain omega-3 to 6 ratio of select seafood. Dietary source: sardines, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 16.5. Halibut, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 14. Cod, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 13.4. Anglerfish, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 9.3. Mackerel, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 8.4. Tuna, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 5.8. Salmon, wild, omega-3 to 6 ratio, 5.5. Don't ruin a good thing. While aquatic animals and plants have been our traditional sources for DHA to EPA omega-3 fats, the presence of environmental pollutants such as mercury, lead, dioxins, and other contaminants is an important issue if you're looking to achieve and maintain optimal health. Moreover, modern food production technologies or techniques mean that more fish are bred in aquatic farms where they're fed pellets made from grain that is typically GMO and are sprayed with glyphosate rather than consuming their natural diet of marine plants and smaller prey fish and other aquatic life. When fish consume less natural omega-3s, their fat contains less omega-3s, so it's best to choose wild-caught fish from clean waters whenever possible. As if that weren't enough, the grain pellets used as feed may contain antibiotics and drugs and other toxic chemicals may also be used in farm-raised seafood due to the building of bacteria and fecal matter in the overfilled ponds. There may even be growth hormones added to farm-raised shrimp as opposed to organic shrimp. The nonprofit organization Public Citizen wrote, considered as a whole, the presence of antibiotics such as chloramiphenicol, toxic chemical compounds that include persistent organic pollutants, POPs, and pesticides used to farm-raise aquatic species, demand that consumers require further investigation by scientists and health authorities into the health risks of farm-fed raised shrimp. If you read Larry Olmsted's excellent book, Real Food/Fake Food, you realize that shrimp is the single most consumed seafood in the United States. We eat more pounds of shrimp than any other fish. Up to 90% of the shrimp consumed in the U.S. is imported from other countries, but it appears that less than 2% is inspected by U.S. regulatory agencies. Nevertheless, in 2015, the FDA had a record number of import refusals for shrimp. This happens when shrimp is tested and found to contain unacceptable contaminants such as banned antibiotics or elevated levels of toxins. Some of the antibiotics used in shrimp farming are not allowed in American food production because they've been deemed carcinogenic. Olmsted recommends avoiding shrimp in restaurants unless you're absolutely convinced the shrimp were indeed caught in the Gulf of Mexico. Canned salmon, sardines, mackerel, and other fish are convenient and economical ways to consume more seafood, but try to avoid making canned seafood the primary source of omega-3s in your diet. High heat is often used during the canning process, which may oxidize the fragile fats. Stick to organic canned seafood, and if you like to dress up canned seafood with mayonnaise, use an organic mayonnaise and opt for one made from avocado oil rather than soybean oil in order to minimize the omega-6. It is also best to avoid sardines and olive oil and get the ones in water, as the olive oil used in canned sardines is inferior and not at all high quality. Additionally, be mindful of how you cook your seafood. Knowing what you know about the dangers of vegetable and seed oils, you definitely don't want to fry fish in these oils. Poach, steam, or bake fish instead of frying so you don't add damaged oxidized omega-6 to an otherwise nutritious meal. Baked fish is associated with health benefits, but fried fish is not. This is most likely because of the cooking oils typically used for frying. If you're a ceviche, sushi, or sashimi lover, you might be best off of all raw preparations Raw preparations made with wild-caught seafood from safe, clean sources is one of the best ways to get marine omega-3s. Because when kept raw, you can be certain none of the fragile fats have been damaged. Fish or salmon roe are probably the highest density of healthy EPA DHA that you can get, in addition to being loaded with phosphatidylcholine. Whole nuts and seeds. Consuming whole, intact nuts and seeds is a world apart from consuming industrial seed oils. Just like the oils extracted from them, nuts and seeds are high in omega-6, but when you consume them in their intact form, they're naturally packaged with antioxidants that help protect against oxidation. Not to mention also coming along with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which the extracted oils don't deliver. Since heat is one of the factors that damages fragile omega-6 and omega-3 fats, your best bet might be to consume raw nuts and seeds if your stomach can handle it. In Table 9.3, we've provided the breakdown of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats in commonly consumed nuts and seeds, along with their omega-6 to 3 ratios. While some of them, such as peanuts, not a nut but a legume, Brazil nuts, and almonds, appear to have extremely high omega-6 to 3 ratios. Keep in mind that polyunsaturated fats make up less than half of their total fat, and it's closer to only a third or less. These nuts are higher in monounsaturated fat than polyunsaturated, so even though their omega-6 to 3 ratios are very high, the total amount of omega-6 you would get from them is less than what you'd get from consuming the same amount of sunflower seeds or pecans, which are higher in total omega-6 even though the ratios are lower.